Hey guys, and welcome back to Cultured Boys, a show where two guys just want to have a chat. I'm Nathan, and as always, I'm joined by Pepe, and this week we're back for another Cultured Boys Pitches.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, this show, or this specific series, Pepe and I have thrown a bunch of prompts into random word generator, and we have to come up with an idea for whatever it spits out. And this week this week threw me through a loop.
I know exactly. Like literally, I heard this and I was like, "Oh my god!" But this is what the whole pictures thing is about. This is throwing us into situations where we have to come with an idea which is absolutely ridiculous. This is why we created this series. And now, this is really testing us this time. We had it light with last episode because that was a time travel horror. Horror movie. We could get away with that quite easily. This one's a bit more tricky.
This one really just this is what kind of the conception of the show was.
Yeah.
Like this series. This is really what we were kind of expecting. Mm-hmm. So without further ado, this week we were tasked with making a comedy cyberpunk YouTube video.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But I'll let you go first with your idea because I went last time. But I will give you a word of warning before we talk about mine. Is that mine is very abstract in the terms of what we're given, and so it might be. I don't know even if this is really allowed within our small rule set that we've given ourselves, but we'll see how it goes anyway. I want to hear your one, Nathan. I want to hear your one.
Okay. So I will start with I had basically two ideas and I realized they basically got smashed into one.
Mm-hmm.
So for my video, it's called How to Live with Viruses, and it's a PSA style skit video.
Okay. Yeah.
So I have made a thumbnail for the video.
Okay, yeah. You sent it through to me, haven't you?
Yes.
Okay, let me have a look.
So have a look at that.
Okay. This looks very.
So as you can see, I've got Vaporwave in the back.
Yeah.
And then it's our logo, but it's all glitchy. In one of the lenses of the glasses, it's like the emergency broadcast thing.
Mm-hmm.
And in the other one, it's dial-up. It's the dial-up thing.
Yeah. Before we get into this, by the way, do we want to explain what cyberpunk is? Because when I heard about cyberpunk, I was like, okay, I know people cosplay as cyberpunk versions of characters, but I've never actually known what cyberpunk is.
Basically, cyberpunk is like the whole futuristic aesthetic. It's all about machinery and augmentations of the combination of biological and mechanical.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all neon lights and stuff, So it's
like futuristic and dystopian at the same time, right?
Yeah. It's a futuristic dystopia. It's probably the best way to put it.
Yeah.
But there's lots of things that kind of count, or you could count in that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I instead of just putting a plain background, I put vaporwave because that's cyberpunky.
Okay, yeah.
And then I wanted it didn't turn out the way I exactly wanted. I wanted to have a more cyberpunk looking person.
Okay, yeah.
On the or some sort of illustration, but I'm terrible at drawing, so I didn't have time to do it. It would have taken me probably an entire week to do that. So I just used our logo.
Okay, yeah.
Use my Photoshop skills because that's about as good as I can get.
So you were going to go with the skit kind of thing with this. So it's going to be a skit. What explain to me this skit then. Have you imagined much on the script or anything like that?
So it's a PSA style video.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more like those old sort of informational videos you used to see in school.
Yeah.
Or the parody ones, So I hear you got a virus.
Okay, yeah.
Stuff narration like that, and maybe it's not all sepia tone. Maybe it does go in and out, and basically it's just you make up some. I was gonna just make up some random virus, like, oh, so you went on a dodgy website, did you? Clicked on a pop-up or two, and now your brain don't work. Somebody backdoor hacked you. Naughty, naughty. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh
and then
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like visuals of just like a person who looks kind of cyberpunky, just sort of sitting as like really just abstract, maybe old 3D, like we were
Yeah.
talking before with The Simpsons, like Homer's
Oh
cubed,
yeah,
like
yeah.
really old 3D graphics just sort of around and happening and flying
Okay.
past, lots of like pop-ups and graphics and things
I get
like,
yeah.
but this person's just sort of sat there. They're not really doing much,
Yeah.
but everything else is just happening around them. Lighting is going all crazy and stuff
Yeah.
like,
It's quite funny because even within that cyberpunk kind of like universe that you have at the moment, it's also like it's kind of like because those PSAs are so dated sometimes when you see them, it kind of feels like throwing in those weird 3D objects kind of feels making it a bit more dated than it actually is within that cyberpunk universe.
yeah,
Like,
but that's what
yeah,
I like. I think it's funny
yeah,
to be like, oh, the whole aesthetic is a super futuristic thing, and then it's like, yeah, but like you're still watching a video that was made in like the 2000s,
okay, yeah, okay, yeah,
because
yeah.
it's still like, I'm I'd imagine in a cyberpunk world,
Hmm.
you'd still be dealing with a lot of the sort of problems of the internet age as we are now, but now
Yeah.
it's worse because it's not your computer. The chip is in your brain. Now
Yeah,
your brain's
it's like
infected.
it just so it's like
Or
gone from
like,
like a biological viral infection to a literal
yeah,
cyber attack on your body.
yeah, it is because like in Cyberpunk, you might have an augmentation, you might have a
Yeah,
robotic arm or whatever, like
yeah, yeah.
now you're part machinery and it's like, oh, how do you deal with that?
Mm,
I hadn't decided if I wanted to go super like horrific with it. I guess because it's YouTube, so it's a
mm.
YouTube video, so you still sort of have to
Depends on what era of
real
YouTube you're going for with it, really. Because I think if it
yeah,
was the
that is
early
true.
days YouTube, the like you could go like really don't hug me, I'm scared with it if you wanted
Well, that's what I was thinking
to.
because there's like you can have sort of scenes where it like fades out all of a sudden, like quick transition, it like flickers and it's gone to black, and then it comes back up and it's just like blood everywhere and like all sorts of what horrific whatever, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Or like
yeah.
you wake up and because the virus is like, I don't know, a remote control thing or whatever, and now you're like robbing a bank or something, or you're robbing something or
Yeah,
someone,
yeah.
like stuff like that. I kind of
Okay.
like the idea of that because that's in my fucked up mind, that's also kind of funny.
Yeah, you could definitely go so many ways with it. Yeah.
Like, even if it wasn't for like a certain era of YouTube, you could still be like, oh, well, this is supported by patrons or something, like
Yeah. Yeah.
imaginary, like there's other funding, so you don't have to rely on
Worst
AdSense.
comes to worst, just put it on Vimeo instead. Cyberpunk Vimeo videos.
But yeah, I mean, I'd
Yeah.
imagine it's a probably a 5 to 8 minute length.
Yeah.
So
Oh
like
wow.
you
Okay.
got
Yeah.
so you got enough time to sort of put some skits together.
Yeah.
You can elaborate on maybe a few things, or you can get quite a few quick little bits in there, but like it's enough to really like get a
Mm.
decent length of joke in there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Like keep it running a little bit. Get them ads on there as well.
Yeah, exactly. But like not too long that everyone's like, right, I'm done with this shtick. Like,
Yeah.
can we move on? You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Keep
around
it
five to
moving.
eight
Yeah.
minutes, I think.
I like that. I like the idea, like a PSA kind of thing. That's all good. Like a PSA skit. I like it. I think that's quite cool.
Thank you.
Oh man.
That
So
yeah. That,
like like realistically with this like where like so on where would this sit? This is one thing. This is one question I had when I came up with my idea. Is
yeah.
that I was wondering like where would this video sit? Would this be a cultured boys cyberpunk or would it just be a general like you put on a random channel and it's the cultured boys like
That's an
cyberpunk channel?
that's an interesting question. I never thought
W-
about it
yeah.
in that sense
Would
because
it be us or would it be someone else that's doing this?
um I'd imagine it could just still sit on our channel just as a
Yeah.
random thing. If I'm honest, like I don't see why it couldn't just be like, we wanted to have some fun and we did a kooky thing.
Yeah. In the future, when cyberpunk exists, we become the cyberpunk boys. I don't know. It still sounds a bit weird as a channel,
But
but
yeah,
yeah,
like I don't know. I figured it. I didn't actually think about it. I didn't think that far. It was just like, oh yeah, you just have to make a YouTube video. I didn't think, oh
Yeah,
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 it'd go on our channel. I
yeah.
just was like, oh, it'd go on YouTube
It's going
in
on YouTube
someone's
somewhere.
channel.
See,
Like,
this is one thing. This is where I'll come quite in depth with mine. But yeah, like, oh, is there much else to it? Have you got anything else on your one?
no, not really. That's that's pretty much the whole thing. Like,
Yeah. Okay. No, no, I like it. I like it. It's good. Oh God. Do you want me to say mine? 'Cause-
yeah, I'm super interested because when we picked these
yeah.
prompts, Pepe struggled on the cyberpunk aspect, where I was struggling on like comedy YouTube video.
Yeah.
We like had different thoughts and things, so I'm just really interested to see
Also, for
what
the
you've come up
longest
with.
time, I did get cyberpunk confused with steampunk. So
I thought you might have done that, but I was like, nah, he's a smart boy. I'll leave him
no,
be.
no, no. Genuinely did get that confused for the longest time, probably until maybe about a day or two until I came up with my idea. However, okay, here's the pitch, right? Okay,
Okay.
Nathan, who would you say is the biggest British YouTuber at the moment?
Um, I don't know. I don't watch British YouTubers.
Well, I would argue, Nathan, that that YouTuber is KSI. Correct?
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 And
Yeah.
you know what? I'm launching a brand new brand for KSI. It's called KS Cyberpunk.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
with KS Cyberpunk, not only have I created one Cyberpunk YouTube video, Nathan, I have created a whole YouTube channel for KS Cyberpunk, including
Interesting.
the group that he's involved in.
Cyberpunk
The
men by
this
any chance?
no, the
Cyberpunk
Cybermen.
Cybermen?
The Cybermen. So,
Okay.
realistically, what this is basically the whole Sideman KSI style videos in the
Mm-hmm.
form of a cyberpunk theme.
So, okay.
So what we have is cyberpunk challenges, including. So I did a little bit of research. What like look into the whole cyberpunk genre, combine it
Mm-hmm.
with the whole Sidemen KSI YouTube style video. Just a few
Yeah.
examples of videos I have. Was it a USA holiday, 100 grand versus 100 like 100 like £100 versus 100 grand holiday, right? So what I've gone with
Uh-huh.
this is a cyberpunk holiday, whatever the fuck that
Okay.
might be,
I'm
for
starting to see what you've done now. Yeah.
100,000 data chips versus 100 data chips. I don't know what currency exists in the cyberpunk world. I assume it's data
Uh,
chips, right? It's got to be.
it's interesting you'd say data chips. I would have imagined it's some sort of made up,
I should have just gone
cryptocurrency
for
that they
Bitcoin,
just
shouldn't I?
called.
I really should have just gone
I
for
Yeah,
Bitcoin.
you could have gone for that. I was gonna say generically called credits. They
Yeah.
just like got rid of everything, and it's all some universal digital thing called credits.
Credits is even better. Yeah, maybe 100 grand credit versus 100 credit kind of holiday. Okay, yeah, I like it. Like we're bouncing ideas off here. Another idea I have. What is who is probably on the same level as KSI in terms of a YouTuber? It's obviously Logan Paul, so he's got to be involved in these videos somehow.
Okay.
So I've created a little other character that gets involved in these videos. He's called Logan Punk.
Okay. I'd
Yeah.
imagine he's already a punk, just not cyber, but
Yeah,
okay.
he's just like he's a Logan Paul cyberpunk dude. He's getting involved, and
Okay.
I've gone for that, like because there was a video I saw on the Sidemen channel called 20 Women versus One Sideman. I've changed that a little bit, so I've gone 20 Women versus One Sideman, and that is Logan
Okay.
Punk's like Logan Punk edition. He's there, little that guy who's kind of reformed a little bit, but we're not here to talk about Logan Paul. We're here about talking Logan Punk right now, and I haven't thought any more
Okay.
into that idea at all. So we're moving swiftly on from
uh,
that.
I'm quite amazed that we've somehow gone sort of in the same theme, and yet just in completely opposite directions.
Another video idea I've had there.
Okay.
So, also doing a bit of research into the Sidemen channel.
Okay.
You knew what I mean when I said this is absurd. Sidemen do hide and seek in a. I don't know where the fuck they did hide and seek, but I just assume they did hide and seek somewhere, probably in a school or something. So I changed that a little bit. I went the Sidemen do hide and seek in a desolate wasteland.
Interesting.
Yeah, there we
Why a
go.
desolate wasteland and not just like hide and seek in a meta world or cyber world or whatever the fuck?
Honestly, Nathan, I didn't put much thought into these ideas. I mainly went off the pun more than anything.
Fair.
And Desolate Wasteland was the first thing that came to my mind. However, I do like the idea of a metaverse of some sort, but I feel like
Well, yeah.
given the kind of current state of Zuckerberg's random meta quest ideas that he has right now,
Yeah, I
whatever,
mean,
like,
that
metaverse
aside,
is,
it fits the theme of
It fits the
cyberpunk. I feel.
I feel like it does. It definitely does feel. Maybe like let's throw in a bit more of the cyberpunk vibe to it. Like no, like maybe.
This is supposed to be your pitch, not a fucking like. Oh, we're not coming up with it right now.
We can mix up a little bit. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm
But yeah,
not supposed to be
there we
refining
go.
your idea for you. This isn't like a fucking think tank or some shit, like a board meeting. Like, oh, so how do we change the Sidemen channel into Cyberpunk? This is supposed to be your fucking pitch.
I'm bouncing ideas. You like when someone goes on Dragon's Den, they try and pitch their idea, and they have a little banter back and
Oh
forth.
well, yeah, okay, but I'm not.
That's not a
invested.
thing they do. If someone went on Dragon's Den and did that, they'd be like, "Yeah, I'm out."
Yeah, so I've got an idea, but like, what do you think? Like, why don't you give me the ideas and then I'll run with it.
Honestly, it's there. There's. Oh man, let's be honest here. I came up with this just for the pun. I haven't come up with anything. I was like, yeah, KSI. I can mix cyberpunk with that, and there we go. So it is literally a parody, or not even a parody. It is just basically another take on what is current on YouTube right now, just with a cyberpunk splash of paint.
Well, I'd say I wouldn't. It's neon paint for sure.
Oh yeah, so
Like-
100% neon. Like, throw some yellow splashes in there, rustic a little bit. But yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah,
I-
that is the.
I never would have imagined you'd be so close to the brief and yet so far.
I was like, I just felt like I'd throw the only thing that I could think of for a comedy YouTube video, because this is one thing with it when I came up with it as well. I was like, I can create the YouTube video, or I could just go put on a few more layers to it, create the whole freaking YouTube channel itself, and basically parody the whole current
I
YouTube
mean,
situation.
if we were the judges,
Mhm.
then I would give you extra points for the effort. But
Thank you.
we're not the judges, so my
Ah.
my opinion counts for nothing. It is literally. I do love how though, even though I stuck to the brief, we both haven't come up with anything like that wholly original. If you catch my drift.
Oh
Like,
yeah, this is not original whatsoever. It's literally
Like-
copy pasting a whole channel.
my idea is also just like low hanging fruit.
I mean, like if your one, it's kind of like it's literally on the nose, really, isn't it? It's like it's a YouTube comedy video, and you can only really create something like
We're like, oh, we're doing this, flex creative muscles, and I don't think we're doing a great showing right now.
I think it depends on how you think of it, because I think like I think it's hard. It's hard to come up with something that technically is a cyberpunk thing. It's not something you see very often, and it's YouTube. Something that is very like a very very big niche right now.
Yeah, it could be anything, and I guess comedy really is down to what you find funny.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, comedy is perceptive. All right, perceptive. Sounds right.
It's
It's not that. That's
Yeah.
not the phrase. It's not the
It-
phrase.
no, but I'm just going to skip over that.
Subjective. There we go. That's the one I was
There
thinking.
you go.
Subject. There we go. I got it. I got it.
I do find your your idea entertaining though.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not so much the video being cyberpunk and being funny. It's more that the whole idea is funny because it exists just from one really random thought.
It's literally, I just had the one thought and ran with it because I don't think I could think of anything else to come up with it. It was really tough. It was really tough to think of this. I'm not sure where else do we go with this.
I don't know either. Like,
yeah, I think like do
oh,
we just like
God.
leave it there? Do we leave it up to whoever wants to vote on this?
Yes. Please let us know in the comments below or tweet at us. We got a Twitter now.
Yeah.
At Cultured Boys. If you think my idea is the YouTube video you go for, or if Pepe's entire YouTube franchise is the thing you would go for. I don't know how else to put that because you have literally just made an entire franchise.
I just went hard with it. And if by any chance, if KSI is watching, if you wanted to dabble in the whole cyberpunk scene and change your brand up a little bit, let me know and I'll let you have the credit for that. Nice one.
But on the opposite end, if this happens to get to KSI and he's got a problem with it, that wasn't us. We didn't do it.
Imagine being taken down by KSI.
We didn't do it. We didn't mention anything. This doesn't exist. Like you imagined it, bro. Like leave it alone.
It's all a dream. Like our ideas never come to fruition.
But yes, seriously though, do let us know which idea you liked. Maybe it's one, maybe it's both, or maybe neither. I don't know.
They're all viable options. Nice
Yeah,
one.
that's the pitch. I feel like this one's a bit shorter because it's a YouTube video, you know.
Yeah,
It's not as in depth as a movie or anything else we have on the list. Like the list does consist of potentially other big like media ideas. Look, I'm not shitting on YouTube, okay? Don't take that as what I'm saying. Otherwise I wouldn't have been on YouTube. Okay? But yeah.
I mean, all I'm saying is, mate, the Sidemen's video of the holidays, the $100 grand versus the £100 one, like that's 2 hours long. So technically, my my little cyberpunk holiday video could be a bit longer.
So now you're telling me you've made a cyberpunk feature film of holidays? Yeah?
It's
like...
2 hours long on YouTube. I feel like we're just delaying this now. But yes, thank you for listening, guys. Yes, as Nathan said, tweet at us, comment below, listen to us all podcast platforms. The links are in the description. And I guess we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.